Pregnant at 17.
I want me to be mad with my child because she's pregnant at 17. Headed to be a sophomore in college, making dean's list semester after semester. Will graduate by the time she's 19, which is still a teen. Why y'all want me to be mad with her? Absolutely not. Things happen.
Okay. So the caption of this post, this story gets kind of crazy. I know I've got a lot of fathers who are subscribed to the Coffee Pod. We have mothers on here too. Anybody with kids, of course, I want you to chime in. Even if you don't have children, I'm curious to know, what do you think about everything that's going on here? This mother is obviously beefing with the internet right now, saying, you want me to be upset at my daughter who's pregnant at 17 when we are proud of her. What is she proud of exactly? Here, I'm going to show you, right? We're going to skip ahead here. We're going to get to everything, but you have to see what's going on.
One super student being honored by her classmates, teachers, and staff.
This teenager has accomplished something few can boast. The team's Robin Simmons is back on the Plex to share the story now. Robin?
You are going to meet the student who will be honored at Homestead City Hall later this week. She fast-tracked her education. 15-year-old Janiyah Baker, who attends Homestead High School, reached an academic achievement that no other student in a Miami-Dade County public school has. She jumped from being a freshman to a senior in just 1 year.
I was ready to finish school.
Her mother noticed her daughter's drive in elementary school.
I noticed that she was very accelerated. I'm like, okay, she don't make B's. So that I noticed, like, let's put her in higher classes. And then she started accelerating as she went higher. And she just never dropped the ball. So I was like, okay, let's go for it.
But it was no easy goal.
It was a lot of work I had to do.
She did it while juggling extracurriculars. As a student athlete, Baker currently holds the highest GPA.
All right, so as you guys can see, a young black woman who's brilliant when it comes to her academics. I just want to say this first off. Congratulations to her. This is wonderful. This is a good thing, right? We're just talking about the academics here. Now, then you have this whole situation of her getting pregnant at 17 years old and the mother playing it off in a way that seems like she's almost proud of what's actually going on and documenting the whole situation for people to see. Check it out.
Come with me and Janiyah as we go to the doctor for her pop-up visit. We're headed to the doctor's office now, and we're just talking about different things about her becoming a mother. And this is a new journey, and you guys are going on it with us. Look at this girl. She is so funny. Look how slow she walks, y'all.
I just noticed the top caption here says the 15-year-old girl who made history by skipping from 9th grade to 12th grade in just 1 year. By the way, 9th grade to 12th grade is crazy. In just 1 year is now 16 years old and is currently pregnant. I thought it was 17, 16. See, there's something oddly, I think, wrong with parading this. As much as I would never encourage somebody to talk down on a young person, because, they're young at this age, and try to publicly embarrass them. I don't think publicly putting their whole story out there or acting like it's an accomplishment is good either. Like, let's keep listening.
Oh, she is funny. This is the part she don't like, this part. So here we're listening to the baby's heartbeat. And it was just a visit that she had to follow up on some stuff. But back to last visit, this is the dad. For the people that may ask, he's very much present. Him and his family is very much present. We're honored for that. Look at the baby at the last ultrasound, just flipping and jumping. And these are the pictures. The baby has actually grown very, very big. Look at Grandma too.
And just keep in mind, guys, 16 years old here. Let's go back to what she was talking about earlier. What do you think so far? What do you think of this whole dynamic? Because here's my thing, man. You have a lot of very academically successful young women today because it's just shoved down their throat as being very, very, very important, especially black women. However, you end up realizing, and they end up realizing, that what they truly want in the very end is to be well-rounded. Yes, academics are a wonderful thing if that's something that's in your cards to get you to where you want to be. This is not me saying drop out of high school, right? Go to school if you believe it will help you get to where you need to go. Be careful about taking on too much debt and useless degrees. That's not what this video is about. But you see all these educated chicks, and there's so much emphasis and praising them about their education and this and that. But the truly impactful, the things in life that really impact your success are your decisions when it comes to who you decide to have children with. For those children, it's whether they're born into a two-parent household that's married. And so I think there's a conversation here that definitely can be had about making sure that finding a husband before you get pregnant is prioritized as well. I would never be okay with my daughter being paraded like this if she got pregnant at 16 or 17, whatever age it is. We know it's not 18.
Why y'all want to be married with her? Absolutely not. Things happen. Some of y'all act like y'all know y'all children so well, like y'all can control everything they do. No, you can't. I don't care how strict you feel like you are. A teacher sees your child more than you do. And if you claim you work, you definitely don't see your child that much if you're a working parent.
What does that have to do with them?
Stop acting like things don't happen. Y'all really want to put y'all energy off on us because we don't want to be miserable while she's pregnant. We don't want her to go through the worst. We don't want her sad, mad. No, we're not going to do that over here. All children are blessings. Some people can't even have kids. Some of the ones talking have never even been married before having a child. Still ain't married. Janai grew up in a two-parent home. So I want me to be married.
Like I said, man, I don't think the correct response is if your young daughter comes to you and says, hey, I'm pregnant, to be like, let me put you on blast and publicly shame you. Now, can you keep it real about the decisions and consequences of her decisions and let her know that that's not something to be proud of? Yeah, you can. And I think more people need to, because what ends up happening, if no one acts like this is a mistake and to some degree, then you're leaving the opportunity for it to happen again, and then again, and then again. And this is all, by the way, everybody who's looking at this is not coming from a place of wishing bad. They're saying, hey, no, that's probably not best. It's probably not going to contribute to her success. Or she probably is the type of woman, like most of the women we see today, who want to build a family. And the more kids you have outside of wedlock, the harder it will be for you to take a man to take you seriously. And they won't care what record you set or you were the top graduate, whatever school. They don't care when he's looking for the best deal for him as a wife. And then you're putting your young daughter out here to the public and leaving people to give their opinion. That's what you're doing. And that's what people are doing. You did this, right?
Stop acting like you can control everything about your child, especially if they're ready, when they're ready. You should be able to talk to your child. Some of y'all can't even talk to your children. Some of y'all keep laying y'all kids on the table.
Ready when they're ready? 16, 17, ready when they're ready? Come on.
Because y'all shame getting them babies taken out of them time after time they get pregnant, because y'all ashamed, tearing their insides up. We don't do that over here. We're not doing that over here. It happened. Was it a surprise to us? Absolutely. But we're not going to bash her into the ground. As her parents, we don't have to tell y'all what we told her.
No reason to bash her.
We straighten her. She knows. But also, guess what? We're going to build her up for greater. We're not doing that over here. And y'all not going to put that energy off of her. So while y'all mention, she's 17 and pregnant, mention she's going to be 19 and degree too. Don't leave that out. Still
19 and degree. Your degrees cannot replace a husband. Go ask the chicks. Go ask the women out here with exceptional accomplishments. They will not replace what a man brings, the guidance a husband brings. And I hope he proposes. I hope he proposes, right? And he's actually there in marriage. Yes, but this idea that before you mention that she's pregnant at 17 or single, and I get she's being defensive and she's being a mother. Before you talk about how she is pregnant at 17 or 16, don't forget to add that she has a degree. This is why mothers cannot lead households and families. This is why they cannot be leaders within a household, is because this unconditional love is not great for all situations. It's not. You need a father who takes charge and gets in front of the camera, because right now it's looking like she's the head of that household, or if there is still a man in the household. You need that masculine energy for that man to speak out, because from a man, the perspective, I can guarantee you, in most cases, will be different.
However you look at it. Y'all just hate the fact that people can be accomplished and do stuff.
No, that's
And the
not.
way y'all, some talking, Janaya write y'all on the table. Very intelligent. So at the end of the day, they again, stop acting.
Okay, let's read a few comments. Top comment here says, kids make mistakes, but she's still pushing. On top of having a great support system, she will be just fine. She needs a great support system. She needs to have the support of her parents, her family. They all need to be there. I don't think that's what this is truly about. I think the parading of her, documenting her as a minor, getting pregnant, there's something weird about this. Somebody else here says, this young lady has made her parents beyond proud. No, they don't support teen pregnancy, but they're not about to make their daughter feel bad for getting pregnant. You listen, this is where, this is a woman commenting, right? This is where mothers are different from fathers. No, you're not supposed to make sure you crush all her confidence and self-esteem. But if that was my daughter, there's definitely a conversation being had about, hey, we support you. We love you. Your family has your back. But you should understand that this just made your life become real. You're bringing a child into this world. There is nothing to be proud about the way this happened. Why? Because it needs to not happen again. And most people just assume, oh, it won't. It was just a one-off thing. You will be surprised. This commenter goes on to say, them being mad solves what? She's still excelling in school and her parents are supportive. I'm happy she has a support system. Please normalize loving your kids through unexpected things. This baby about to be loved. Congratulations, Nia, on all you've accomplished and have yet to accomplish. And congratulations on your soon-to-be bundle of joy and blessings. I definitely do think love can be there along with the coffee being served, because she needs it for her own good. We got another commenter here who added, I don't want my daughter pregnant at a young age. Leave your life, but to each its own. And if my daughter were to get pregnant, I definitely would stand behind them. Who wouldn't stand behind their daughter? I think most people would stand behind their daughter. At least I hope they would. I hope they would support them, right, and be there for them. But I definitely hope that they wouldn't act like, hey, it's okay, it's fine. There's nothing wrong here. All right, so next here we have somebody here who disagrees and has a joke. They said her mother probably gave the boyfriend a ride to the house, meaning she probably used to support and encourage that relationship. Somebody else here added she was definitely letting him spend the night. Somebody else here says facts. That's what I'm getting here. When I don't see a father and I see a mom all up in the camera, very passionately speaking about a situation like this, I'm like, where's the father? Where's the man in the household? I definitely don't think it's far-fetched to think that she let the dude come over. And there was a whole lot of things that were wrong with these parents who continue to encourage the cycle of single motherhood, right? Oh, he can stay the night. Oh, it's okay. He can stay downstairs. Oh, no, he can do this. He can do that. The next thing you know, what? You're in this situation. And listen, people can live how they want, but those decisions come with very serious consequences. Somebody else here says, even helped him bring in his spend the night bag. Yo, somebody else here says, and order them Wingstop and DoorDash. My stuff. So they're pretty much saying that she seems like the type of mother who's okay with all this and even encourage it and set them up for failure. How do you do that? By not having correct boundaries. Somebody else who says self-pandering, low vibration behavior. Here's another chick who says, it's sad that I never heard of her until she got pregnant. It's like they were trying to take away her accomplishments with this announcement. I graduated high school at 16 and got pregnant at 17. Didn't finish my first degree until I was 26. She'll be 19 with a degree. It's not that I don't think that that's an amazing accomplishment. It's not that. It's the fact that we're having a whole different discussion here that we've had many times with women who may not be as accomplished, but modern women use the whole, I have all these degrees, but I don't have a man. Well, you weren't making sure to set yourself up for success on the other end of life. And the people around you weren't helping you. They thought, oh, all she needs to do is make sure that she gets her education. Let's see. We have this right here, right? And this is the future. If you don't understand how that other side works and you're having kids outside of wedlock and the people around you raising you up aren't really prioritizing making sure that you are becoming a wife, that you know how to submit.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
To your man. Oh, yeah. You end up like this. So this is future version. And not of her. I'm not saying of the young lady. I just mean of the chicks who pursue their degrees and think they will replace men. And that will be like the key to navigating life, including the dating life. The top of the caption of this video says, women have all them degrees, but let a guy with a high school diploma manipulate them and get them pregnant, some of them. And some of them don't even have the excuse like the young lady did of not having experience in life. They're grown adults out here getting manipulated by bums. I promise you. Those are the guys here who are running game the most, all the time on their hands, left and right.
Oh, you women always talk about how smart you are with all of your degrees, but you let a guy with a high school diploma manipulate you. Yes. And that makes sense. And I'll tell you why. There's something called book smarts and street smarts. So those who are academically inclined have probably been buried in books their whole life, a significant portion of their adult life. So they don't have street smarts, or don't tend to anyway. So they may not be able to read red flags or read the room or see through people's BS or even learn how to manipulate, because that's not a skill that they would be learning when they're in school. People who are street smart tend to be able to read the room, read red flags. They're able to see through people's BS. They're able to learn how to manipulate because that might be a survival tactic that they had to learn. So of course, when we're talking about the skill of manipulation, someone who is street smart would have that skill. Now, if you put that same street smart person against the book smart person on a test or in the workplace, they'd probably lose in that arena too, because that's not their area of strength. That makes sense.
Or maybe, because how did you learn how to be book smart? Oh, you listen to your teachers, right? You listen to your professors. Okay, so how are you supposed to learn how to be street smart? You're supposed to listen to the men around you who can share their mistakes, preferably a father figure. But the question is, do you drink coffee?
No, I'll have a tea, actually.
No, you don't. You don't want to listen. You don't think you need guidance. You think you can do it all by yourself. All right, guys, moving on. This next video is titled Egg Freezing Prenups. Oh, yeah. And thruples. Black women are breaking the rules.
Hearing y'all talk about everything and like how y'all feel about your futures, and it kind of makes me feel a little left out because I feel sometimes confused about what I want. I do know that I do not want to have kids unless I'm married. But when I sit and think about it, am I ready? Because I've been in a position where I almost got to the point where I'm talking about baby, and then I really think about it like, I don't know if I could be with this motherfucker for 60.
How old are these women? Seems like we have, because, we already have Melissa Ford there who was talking about having kids and how she won't be able to anymore. You see so many older women, like, you even had Dr. Sharon Bryant and other elderly talking about how they plan to have children sometime in the future. I'm like, how old are these chicks, bro? But anyways, we do see the egg freezing title there. Let's keep listening.
5 more. I got to see his ass every day, 65 years.
And also, like, getting involved in the entertainment industry really early on, everybody has Peter Pan syndrome. So it's just like, how do you
even choose?
Yeah.
But I feel like, can I offer for you? I think the modern woman gets to choose. Like, I think our mothers and grandmothers and them probably felt like they didn't necessarily get that choice and they went the way of marriage and all.
This chick always has the answers. She always has the answers in all the videos I've reacted to her. She's the first to serve some tea.
All the things, because that's what it had to be. But because we are so non-traditional as women, we don't have to make that choice. It's not dire anymore. Sure, our uteruses have timelines. Yeah. But even that there's a breath of fresh air in that, in the ability to freeze eggs and the ability to adopt or to create families in ways that are different and non-traditional.
I always feel like if it's not meant for me, God is not going to let it happen.
So now we're bringing God into it, huh? Have they read their Bibles? Do they know how traditional the Bible is? Incredible.
Recently, my aunt would, because I'm like the last cousin with no kids.
Me too.
Yeah, and they're all like, where is that?
Surprising.
Where are your children? My aunt was like, Jessica, you can have your kids by yourself. You don't need no man. Oh, my man's one side. Just have your kids by yourself.
They done gave up.
You know, yeah, they gave up. They're like, girl, where the kids at? You know, and I'm not gonna let me not finding Prince Charming or me not getting married stop me. Like, I'm going to have kids. Like, I'm going to have children. I don't care if I got to go down to the clinic and say, I want that one, that one, that one. I'm going to have my children. That's not the end of the road.
Sometimes,
You heard it for yourself. Jessie Woo said she doesn't care if she can provide those children with a father figure. If she can't find herself, because there's a lack of good men, guys. There's no good men left. Oh my goodness. These chicks are ready. They're great candidates, right, for wives, but they just can't. There's no more good men left. They don't exist. But she's saying, I'm going to have kids. And she's okay with those poor children not having a father.
I was married. I'm divorced. I ended up raising my kids by myself anyway.
This is Kevin Hart's wife, right?
So you never know how it's going to play out. So
marriage is
Ex-wife.
Guarantee.
That's not a guarantee.
Yeah. Well, see, that's something I knew, but that's why I made it clear. That would be an example, like for me, that I would want to set. Like, look, we tried. We was married when we had you. Ain't work, and now his ass is out. I'm saying it based off of experience because my sisters had kids. One of them was married with one of the children, wasn't married with the other. But I saw their struggle, and I do know that the one that was married, he's still around and still prevalent in his child's life.
As a child that came from a marriage, I mean, both of my parents met in church. My father was preaching. My mom was a choir director. Like, she did it the right way. And 2 years ago, I was dating someone. Like, I really thought this man was going to be my husband. Like, it was just in a short amount of time. He really love bombed me when I look back at it. But I remember calling my mom and crying to my mom. I was like, Mom, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to get married. My mom said, take your time. Like, yes, I was married and I did everything right. But she said, I gave you the wrong father. I did it the right way, but I gave you the wrong father. For me, that really stuck with me because I had never heard anybody say that to their kid. I would never just want to just give my children the wrong father for the sake of saying, well, we were married first. I would prefer to be married. But more than anything, I would prefer for my children to have a healthy upbringing, even if it's just me.
Modern
If it's just you, you're increasing the chances of them not having a healthy upbringing. Insanity. And blaming the father. What do? He cheated? You know me, I think you should work that out. Yeah. Work through it. Work through cheating. If it's not something that's continuous and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it could be really bad here, right? We could find out that he was like putting his hands on her or some type of chronic cheater, which I definitely think there's grounds there. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I do remember, though, when it comes to Jessie Woo, is, man, it's hard to forget. It's hard to forget It's hard to forget. Here's why, because you might be thinking like, Chisha, why are you so adamant in assuming that these chicks don't drink coffee? I remember this video by Jessie Woo talking about Kevin Samuels a while back. Do you guys remember this?
A whole chicken nugget. A whole chicken nugget. And what is you look like a chicken nugget with glasses on. Okay? So who died and made you the beauty police?
So she didn't like the fact that he would ask women to rate themselves, and many of them would give themselves delusional ratings. But Jessie Woo believed that she knew better than Kevin Samuels. And I'm not saying he was perfect, because I don't agree 100% with anybody at all. But when it came to KS, he revealed a lot of facts that were 100% true about modern women. A lot. That were 100% true about modern women. A lot. And she was here talking shit 3 years ago on this video, and today is saying, you know what? I think I'll probably be single. A single mother, and I'm okay with that without a man. When really, KS would have probably said, hey, I'm not surprised by that, seeing as how you are a modern woman.
Who did that? Who died and made you the beauty police? Here's the thing. Saweetie is literally, by beauty standards, one of the most gorgeous people most of us has laid eyes on. And when I say beauty standards, I ain't gotta go into all that. You guys know what society's beauty standards are, okay?
So she didn't like that Kevin Samuels rated Saweetie a 6.
Without makeup, she is gorgeous. Like, that's just really, I don't think that a lot of people would come into the comment section and debate that with me. But then they go on and they talk about just how basically he starts off by what you look like with no makeup, like without your hair done.
First off, there are people who hate the whole notion. There's a scale or there's a Eurocentric standard. Yes. Girl.
You know, not to be up there. But then when he goes on and he talks about these other women that would have been 9s and 10s, do you guys notice something? Like, what do all those women have in common? Dorothy Dandridge, Diane Carroll. What do all those women have in common? They don't look like me. They don't look like me. They're not dark skinned. You know what I mean? So already you're telling me that you're a colorist on top of that.
So that's definitely a lie. We know that he rated Kelly Rowland, I think, like a 10, right? So that's definitely a huge fat lie.
Because literally the lighter women are what you would first consider to be 9s and 10s.
So that was her 3 years ago, and this is the tune she's singing now, right?
I would never just want to just give my children the wrong father for the sake of saying, well, we were married first. I would prefer to be married. But more than anything, I would prefer for my children to have a healthy upbringing, even if it's just me.
Modern day woman has so many more options open to her without society's judgment or expectations.
Yeah. But what does that mean for the Black family?
I think it means a lot of things. I think, because we also are talking in a traditional sense of heterosexuality here, because there's so many more representations of what family looks like. The modern day woman gets to release herself from those constraints and gets to have a freedom around being a world builder. Everything is just not one way, black and white.
And they're going to somehow fit God into this.
But we still hold on to these traditions because that's what tradition is.
But you call them constraints, and then you also call them tradition.
Yeah, because to me, tradition does feel like constraints.
They can be constrained. Yeah. I remember going down a rabbit hole on TikTok with white women talking about being trad wife. There's a trad wife side of TikTok where you have white women telling you that being a traditional wife is not what it's cracked up to be. Even to your point where you were like, well, what does that mean for the Black family? The white family is breaking up too. I think sometimes it's just like,
These chicks are like, it's not just us. Oh, man. Imagine being happy that families are breaking up. Bro, If you're a man that values marriage today, gentlemen, listen to me. It doesn't take long, bro. It doesn't take long to hear these chicks talk. And you look at them, you're like, you're not caffeinated. It doesn't take long at all.
This is a black problem. No, everybody is going through this. Like the white women are on TikTok losing their minds, telling us marriage does not give women what it used to give women anymore.
She's right.
Again, I'm saying this as someone who does want to be married. But even when I get married, I'm going to have a prenup. I'm going to have certain things in line for myself because I'm not marrying you to get out of anything.
So do you feel like at this present time, because you said kids, besides that, do you feel like you have it all?
Hell yeah, I have it all. I got a good wig. I got a good job.
I was gonna ask
I got a good job.
That's all you need.
My still works, like I got money in the bank. I have my own home. Like I have good health. To me, having the freedom to be who I want to be is having it all.
Freedom to be who I want to be. Independence, not interdependence. It's going to end in tears. If these chicks do not learn, and it doesn't look like they're trying to, they will be their own fulfilling prophecies. In those videos where they were looking at KS and saying things like, oh, how dare he say that buy a dog and die alone. That's what these chicks are going to be doing anyways. And of course, you heard her talking about a prenuptial agreement there. Guys, make sure that you head to fathershaverights.com to get free legal information and also the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement with offer code REVIEW. All right, so the caption of this one reads, OnlyFans star plunges to her death from balcony while filming some type of a threesome.
So I think I know what you think that I'm going to say, and it's not that. Condolences to this young lady's family.
Right.
And special condolences to her father. This is sad. Anytime anyone loses a life, it's not a happy or...
Did he say to her father? I'm holding back laughter right now for what he said. I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh. Someone just lost their life.
...or joyous situation. I am not going to do the same things that masculine women did when Kevin Samuels passed and dance in the street like he committed a crime. This woman was doing no crime. She was working and what she is passionate about. And so if she made that life choice, that's okay. And she passed away doing what she loved.
This is crazy.
So try to look on the bright side of that. And condolences to her father for her choice of profession. Oh, and the hotel balcony as well. That's it. Comments below. What you think?
This is nuts. So what he said there about like the women dancing in the streets and praising God when... So what he said there about the women, the masculine women dancing in the streets, especially the big ones, when KS passed away, I actually agree with that. You know what's funny? I was actually thinking that the first time I saw this, I thought about it because I thought to myself, you know what? A life was lost here, and I would never sit there and be like, yeah, good for her. And they'll think you're evil. But when he's right, when KS passed away, so many of these chicks, and they call for death. If anyone who they disagree with was to die, they sing, they dance, they shout for joy, and then they go call themselves Christians and they're praying to God and somehow giving up their cheeks to any dude who can figure out how to get them, calling you crazy and controlling when you tell them to chill out, right? That's what we're dealing with out here. But this is one crazy story. Imagine going out like that. That's wild. Top comment here says, was she drunk? Somebody else here says, is she in heaven? Or y'all not ready for the truth yet? Here's somebody else who says, wait, what? Another person here says, her body, her choice. Another person here added, what happened? Did she fall from the balcony? What happened? This is mind-boggling. Can't imagine being part of a threesome and lose somebody in the process. Okay. I mean, do I stop or keep going? Is this real? I think it's probably real. I think it's probably real. I don't know. A lot of people like to shoot fake news, though, to get a following. To balance out the very toxic topic here, let's follow this up by this right here. Check this out.
As a married woman, how do you handle the bills in your household?
So I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. So I don't make that much, but my husband makes more than me. He works in IT. for the Department of Energy, and so he takes care of a lot of it. But I do believe that the women should, if they work, they should contribute too.
Ooh, if they work, they should contribute. All the women who are waiting for husbands still to this day are rolling their eyes.
So I also contribute.
God forbid he lost his job. Would you be willing to take care of everything?
Oh yeah, I've done it already. Well, he didn't like his job, and I encouraged him to leave his job. And I told him, we got it. Like, we're good. Like, let's do it. He found a job shortly after, but it wasn't that hard. I'd do it for him again. He's a king.
Well, why even push him out of his comfort zone? I mean, do you think most women would encourage their men to quit their jobs if they were unhappy?
They should. I mean, if your mental health is being damaged, you should leave a toxic place, because why would I want my husband to be sad and miserable, you know?
Wow, a wife, forgive me, a wife who's worried about her husband's mental health. Wow, very rare amongst these vicious, money-hungry modern women.
As a married woman, how...
Let's read a few of these comments. Top comment here says, women will see this and not be inspired, right? But they will be inspired to continue being by themselves. Somebody else who says that's why she is married. Here's another person who says this man found a wife. Here's another woman who says the fact that her answer surprises people is actually really sad. Oh, this should be normal for every married couple, but it's not. More specifically, it's not what women think it should be. If it was up to modern women, the moment you lose your job and you expect her to pay the bills, then you become absolutely useless. Here's another woman who says, did this for him and he cheated on me with my best friend. Good. Because you know what? How are you going to come here and leave such a horrible, toxic comment? I'm glad it happened. I'm tired of this. Yeah. Shout out to you, bro. Of course I'm joking, but you're literally going to come here and see positivity and a woman being a good wife. And you're like, did this and blah, 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 blah. Somebody else who says, oh, she's fire. Here's somebody else who says she's wifey for a reason. She should be teaching other females on how to hold down a king. Facts. And it's obviously reciprocal. And yes, I know men do this too. I've even seen it in my comment section. You have men who say he has a good wife, come and say, she's going to cheat. Like, bro, not everybody cheats, dog. Like, relax. Those would be the same men who say there's no such thing as a good woman. And you ask him, is there such thing as a good man? Yes. Right. It's just like you're the same thing. You are the modern women who you complain about. Get the hell out of here. And coming on here talking about how you got cheated on. I mean, boo-hoo. She's having a good time. Listen, guys, that's it. As always, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. If you are a soon-to-be married man, engaged, or proposing soon, make sure you head over to fathershaverights.com and access the #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement with offer code REVIEW. We have men enrolling there on a daily basis. I appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.